Hey, what's going on, everybody? Back for another edition of We Talk L.A. And in this episode, we are going to talk a little bit about the Los Angeles Zoo and an upcoming fundraiser that they're putting on. And to do that, we are joined by Sienna Spencer-Markles, the PR manager for the LA Zoo. Sienna, what's going on?
Hey, Brian. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, it's my pleasure. I am definitely a little bit curious about some of the goings on with the zoo, as I'm sure some of the folks and viewers are out there. So I'll kind of just ask you straight away, like, how are the animals doing and what's going on? Is everything everybody being taken care of over there?
Yes, absolutely. The animals are doing great. They seem to miss seeing people, but they're getting a lot of attention. Um, and our animal care staff continues to provide the same high level of care every single day that we're closed. So not much has changed for them in their day-to-day. The health and safety of all of our staff and our animals is our number one top priority. And we have protocols in place with all the animals that may be susceptible to COVID-19.
Right. That was kind of one of my first questions I wanted to ask too, because I think myself and others out there may have seen the story coming from the Bronx Zoo from about a month ago, where a tiger there had tested positive for coronavirus, and that kind of stirred the zoo community at large about what safety measures or what testing needed to be implemented because of that. Can you talk a little bit about that, like some of the precautions that were taken and what happened after that news kind of spread through?
Sure. Yeah, that's right. It was the tigers testing positive at the Bronx Zoo was a big deal. And our animal care department takes all kinds of precautions with PPE, such as wearing masks, wearing gloves, practicing social distancing when interacting with the animals. Um, we have a whole team of animal health experts on staff, and they are in constant communication with public health officials, as well as the local and national veterinary networks to stay up to date on animals in human care and any potential risks. So we are paying this a lot of attention. It's a serious issue, but everyone's doing fine,
Well, that's good
fortunately.
to hear. I think everybody out there will be pleased to hear that. I think on top of that, I'm sure people are wondering now that we're kind of progressing through stage 2 of reopening in Los Angeles, when the zoo might be a part of that, and if there's any update on that, or if it's still kind of all up in the air. So maybe you can shed a little bit of light onto that, what the status is, and what's going on with the zoo now, and where we might be headed in the coming weeks.
We're wondering too. It is very much up in the air. We've been closed to the public since March 13th, so about 2 months. And following the city of Los Angeles, safer at home guidelines. We don't know at this time. It's just too hard to say. Things are changing every day, and we don't have a timeline to reopen at this time. But we'll reopen when the mayor says it's okay, basically.
Right. I know
As far
there are museums and like some cultural institutions that will be trying to open up, and there's actually a few botanical gardens that are already opened up based on like timed entry and things like that. So I imagine, although you can't confirm this maybe, but I imagine that if and when the zoo does open up in the coming months, that it's gonna be a little bit different than it would as before, just because you guys will be taking precautions and abiding by whatever guidelines the state and the city has put out.
Absolutely, we're going to be adhering to our City of Los Angeles guidelines for sure. And we don't know what those plans are. We don't know what it's going to look like in the future. But we are still working hard to connect with the community and engage with the community, even though we're closed. We've successfully pivoted to some pretty awesome online content and activities during the last couple months, and we'll continue to do so. We have from animal videos on our YouTube channel to craft projects and coloring books that people can download for free off of our website, lazoo.org. And we actually just wrapped up a 4-week animal draw along with an LA-based Disney artist. And those are all available on our YouTube channel as well. So we have media recommendations on our blog. We're just keeping the content coming, you know, to keep people engaged and animal lovers educated while they're at home.
Right. I think that's kind of the way that a lot of local institutions have approached this. They're just figuring out how to get whatever it is they do and put it online in the interim until they can get folks back in their physical spaces. Hopefully
Yeah,
sooner than later, but we'll see.
it's
Um,
given us a chance to be incredibly creative,
right.
and
Yeah.
we've actually had a lot of fun with it.
That's great. Well, speaking of the online content, there is something special we wanted to talk about that's coming up in the next couple of days, and that is the LA Zoo's annual fundraiser called the Beastly Ball, which will be happening online this year and not in person. Can you talk a little bit about that for us and kind of give us
Yeah,
an
that's
overview of what
right.
that's all about?
Absolutely. We're really proud to have transitioned our annual fundraising gala, the Beastly Ball, from 50 years of an in-person event at the zoo, which is normally pretty exclusive and a limited guest list at $1,500 a ticket. And we have transformed it into a virtual event that anyone can watch. It's just about an hour. It's this Friday, May 15th at 6 p.m. And it's really important to us that you join and attend and donate and even bid on auction items. It's our critical fundraising event that provides funding all year long for innovative animal care and conservation efforts around the world, and all of the membership and events and marketing that the zoo needs to be successful, especially in light of, you know, losing the revenue that we're losing now.
Yeah, I think some people might not even be aware of it. Maybe you can just touch on it a little bit more, like the work that the zoo does, not just as a showcase for people in our community, but like you said, around the world in conservation efforts or research efforts. I think people
Yes.
may not value that or understand what the nature of that is.
Yes, it's so true. I am astounded every day by the sheer number and amount of conservation programs that the LA Zoo is involved in globally. We have so many amazing conservation stories. We've literally saved the California condor from extinction over the past 30 years. And so it's not just a zoo where you come and visit the animals, but we're actually using the funding and the animals that at the zoo to help wildlife around the world. And that's really what the Beastly Ball has been about for the past 50 years. It ties it all together. We have animal experts that are going to be guest stars, like the Kratt brothers and our own director of conservation, the zoo president, our GLAZA president. And we also have some really cool surprises. We have our host, Joel McHale, who is an animal lover and a zoo ambassador, and a bunch of other guest stars like James Cordin and Dave Matthews is going to perform. So it's going to be really fun and educational, so people can really find out what it is the LA Zoo does.
That's great. And obviously, I think when does the auctioning start? You can actually start bidding earlier than the ball, right? Is
Yeah,
that
that's
right?
right. It opened last Friday, so it's open now. And there's awesome one-of-a-kind experiences that you can bid on. Anything from travel and flights to field conservation, private experiences at the zoo that people can schedule for a later time, sometime in the future when it's safe to do so. But yeah, it's a pretty cool. There's about 140 auction items, tickets to all of the major sporting events in Los Angeles, um, private lunches. It's really a special auction list, and people just can go to beastlyball.lazoo.org and browse around.
Well, that sounds great. Hopefully folks will tune in then this Friday. You said Friday at 6, right, is when it starts airing on the LA Zoo website?
That's right. It's Friday at 6. Just go to beastlyball.lazoo.org and you can watch for free. It's just about an hour, so it's not a huge time commitment. It'll be entertaining and fun. And you can also catch it on our social media platforms as well.
Awesome.
And if you want to RSVP in advance, you can just go to the same website, beastlyball.lazoo.org, and you'll get some special offers with partner restaurants and some cool recipes. We even did a Beastly Ball playlist that rocks on Spotify.
Right on. Okay, well, thanks for the update on the zoo, and thanks for the information about the Beastly Ball. We'll definitely be sharing that in our weekend roundup of to-dos for the next few days. So appreciate your time, Sienna. It was nice having you on. And for everybody out there, appreciate you watching, and we will catch you on the next episode. Take care.